there's that what you're saying, and then there's an overall arching principle, which I know you're gonna agree with.
Okay, cool.
The church have a role to sustain righteousness in society. So what you're saying is part of that umbrella, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, and that's why you cannot. And people say, Roger, you be rude now. When we the first people to moan when homosexuals, let's be real, adopt, yeah. But I'm saying, before you open your mouth, what are you doing?
Affinity Xtra, be Xtra.
Hey guys, it's Roger here from Affinity Xtra. We're here to celebrate gospel music of black origin. I'm alongside the brother Ace, and we're on the Edge show. So you're gonna hear some stuff from the station about this I would say young man. That's all. Somebody says, hey, big man this thing. But we've already done stuff focusing on his artistry already on the station, and we want to be looking into so watch this space when it comes to YouTube. But we just want to put out something which we do connect in. We did work together in the past in a youth work environment in the care system, and it's something that we both worked with young people from a very young age and in different capacities, because I think that one thing I did learn very quickly was what youth work is. I think people think youth work is just working for the council, getting paid 20 boys a year, whatever, and that's youth work. But youth work is a lot wider than that, from running football teams, doing youth clubs, all these different things that doing is all part of youth work. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we don't embrace that at all, what we should do. And I think that we can broaden our horizons if we appreciate that, but the whole concept of that is weird. But listen up, bro, just to give an insight, guys, Ace, just give me a background when it comes to working with young people.
Started as a volunteer youth worker at Neutral's Green Community Centre, which is closed down now.
Sorry, bro, just talk straight directly into the mic. Yeah.
Started at Neutral's Green Community Centre, which is closed down now. As a volunteer youth worker. When I did that, then I started to do the course West Hill. I went on to West Hill and did the course there, the foundation degree in youth community and play work. Okay. And from there I was just working at different youth clubs in Birmingham and in Warsaw. That's how I began in youth work. That's how I began working with young people. Basically I was in a table tennis team when I was younger, and I used to coach some of the ones who were younger than me. So that's how I kind of started, because my dad was a youth worker as well at Wallace Lawler. Big up Wallace Lawler. Everyone who knows about Wallace Lawler.
Wallace Lawler.
Yeah. My dad actually, big up my dad. Yeah. He's an artist as well, by the way. Yeah, he's an artist as well. But he built the first studio, one of the first studios in Wallace Lawler. So all the young people used to go there to record and do their music. So that's I kind of followed in his footsteps.
Okay,
just wanted
nice.
to make a difference to young people.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, bro. So literally 20 years on, and where you at now? What you
now I'm a teacher. I'm not gonna say what school.
Yeah. Good to show wisdom anyway.
Yeah. I'm a teacher now, teaching RE and careers. And I still work in care homes sometimes as well in Birmingham.
Okay, in Birmingham. Yeah, brilliant, man. That's nothing but love. So you've done the whole care environment. You've done most posts, you would say, in the care environment.
Quite a few different posts,
Yeah. And I think that's really important, just so people can get in context. Myself, I've been working with young youth football teams, care homes, to projects I do with GL, in terms of getting young people to express their creativity. My goodness sake, I'm going back 10, 15 years. And you know what? The biggest unrepresented youth work element is in church with youth ministries. And I think we don't see that as a serious youth. That's why we can't evolve this thing, because we don't treat it as youth work. Yeah. I'm saying, if we treated youth pastor as a youth worker. Yeah. You know what I mean? And giving the equips, not just to give people the Bible, but to equip young people going back into some dramas, bro. Yeah. Give me some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So, I've done time in all of them. And whatsoever. So I wanna just touch base with you, bro. Something I'm disheartened about in the care system. I feel like, this sounds wrong. We're peeing in the wind. Whatever we do is not working. You know how hard it is, bro, to work between 16 and 18-year-olds, and you feel like you're setting them up for mental health institutions or prison.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the difficulty that I've kind of faced is it's unbalanced in terms of real parenting. Because let's be honest, when you work with young people, depending on what kind of background they've come from, especially if they're in care, there's always like something missing in terms of just having a family and understanding how a family functions. You see what I'm trying to say? Yes, they may have come from different kind of families, but we want to instill like real family values. So things like sitting around the table to have a meal together and talking about how the day went, they've never probably had that, some of them. You see what I'm trying to say? Things like having a conversation and learning how to be self-aware and reflect.
Come on.
Things like that as well. I mean, when I do my teaching, there's two types of skills that you need for the world of work, and there's soft skills and hard skills. And now employers are saying more and more that they need soft skills, teamwork, problem solving, time management, how to understand your finances and things like that. So you learn a lot of that stuff through doing certain activities. Come on. Football could teach you that stuff. You see what I'm trying to say? You got to be on time for training, and you got to come 3 times a week. Yeah, man. And if you're not in the team and you're not playing, see what I'm trying to say?
It's facing rejection in the right way.
In the right way, exactly. So the order and the things that we needed, and a lot of these things as well, I'm going to say the youth clubs did a lot of that. They took away, the councils took away the money from the youth clubs in like 2006.
You remember that? Was it the Conservative Party that came in?
I can't remember who it was. I just remember I was working in the field and I had to change because they took away the financing. So I just think that what we need to do is really instill back real family values in young people. So when they grow up, they can start to pass the baton on in the right way. Because many of us are carrying trauma and things from the past, and we pass it on to our families.
And we need to let it go. So before we get any further, how do we end up here, bro? Because we had to show is that, why we always forever looking after fatherless youth and whatsoever. Now, I got a youth in a situation where when you sit down to him and says, "Oh yeah, so who's your dad?" Don't know. Okay. What's his name? Don't know. Oh, I got a picture of it. My mum said it's him.
And this is where, for me, as I said, that's why I said the word family values.
Yeah, family values is crucial.
We have to literally relearn family values.
Come on, Ace.
Yeah, we really do. Because and I'm gonna say that the word that everyone, the big M word that everyone, marriage. I'm saying the word because the reality of it is, you have, and I'm not saying you can't have a family with a man and a woman who are not married. We know that you can, but my point is returning to certain family values where certain things are just instilled. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because when you start to attack the roles of parents, then these things begin to happen. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
But the flip side is this, bro. Somebody will turn around and say, why should I see marriage when I've seen abuse in marriage? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this in marriage. So why would I want to go into marriage when I've seen my mom or dad being battered in marriage? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just the women that get battered up in marriage. Men get battered as well, whether it's physically or even verbally. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And whatsoever. And sometimes, when we giggle and we see controlling partners, children see that and says, I don't want to be controlled like my mom or my dad got controlled. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So they reject a lot of the principles of marriage because they've seen the negative side. And I feel like we're reaping that mentality of where people are more free to make a choice. And they're going, okay, I'm not choosing marriage because when my mom got married, my dad was cheating on her. And it was like an extra shackle to break to get moved. But if I'm not married, I can just move away from that person. Whatever. You get me, bro? So I'm not justifying what they're saying, but you hear what I'm saying? That's I'm trying to bring that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring that other argument to the thing, Bob. And
that's fair.
Yeah.
What I would say to that is this. That's why I said family values as well, though. Because family values is the the right perspective of a which is probably taboo to say today, but the right perspective of what a woman is and the right perspective of what a man is. Now we go, because now there's different philosophies coming in now.
Of course.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But the point is, when I was growing up, I think I knew one person or two people who were married. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm trying to say to you, it's not just the marriage, it's understanding. It's like
commitment.
It's like a team. You're a footballer, so I can talk to you this way.
Team,
your role as a centre back is key to the team. If you run from being a centre back and try to be a forward, it's not going to work.
Yeah, man. Goals.
And it's the same in marriage.
Yeah.
You have to understand the roles. That is true family values.
So, being Christians, everyone says, oh, biblical marriage. What does that look like and whatever that's to you? But here's a throw point to yourself as well. Because I think we've got very selfish with our marriages. Yeah? Our circular family. Now, we says, as long as me and my kids are cool, I'm good. But that's not what I saw in the Bible. But the thing is, that's what we kind of say, okay, yeah, I moved out to the ends then. I've moved into a small Sutton Coldfield now. I got my big house, I got my big wages, when man laugh because it's true. You know what I'm saying? And I forget the people that I grew up with and their peers, and I forgot the struggle. You know what I'm saying? So it's not my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking after my family. You know what I'm saying? It's our duty to care about the fatherless, bro.
It's our duty to care. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's definitely our duty to care about the fatherless, and this is why family values doesn't just mean the two people that are married. It actually means the way we function in a community. Because it always says it takes a village to raise a child. I know when I was young, I could go down, and if I wasn't supposed to be there and my mum's friend sees me,
finished.
It's problems. Now, most people, oh, that's too strict. No, but that was caring.
Yeah.
That's why less people, and I'm going to say less pedophiles could function in certain areas. Because the way everyone just cared. I know where such and such. So, like, their 5 kids are out the front there playing Kirby. And I know that they're all there. And everyone's cousins and that is looking after them as well. They're the youngest on the ends.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When it starts to change now, and as you've said, nobody cares. Nobody loves thy neighbor. Nobody looks after no one. It just becomes selfish. And that's not how we encourage positive citizens in society. We have to encourage people to actually just genuinely care. If you see your brother needs a hand and they ain't got no sugar down the road, you give them some sugar. That's what it was like.
Listen, man, I heard stories where people that said, yo, man, we went down to Sister Nat, lady called Sister Nantan, yeah, I'm saying, and she just turned up to the house with a pot of rice, and you're thinking, like, how do you know this? And obviously they attribute it to God, and I totally believe the godly principles are there, indirectly from God, to say God told me to, but I believe that, but 100%, but that's because godly principles, biblical principles, which they're functioning with. Let me just care about so and so looked a bit, skinny today, or needed some food, and you actually just say, let me go on and do that. But people just mind their own business these days, bruv.
The thing was, don't go to anyone's house with your long hand. In other words, with your hand empty. These little philosophies and principles
we kind of dashed out too. Biblical. But we dashed them out, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's another thing that's happening. We've got this view in society now that everything old-fashioned is foolish. So let's just do everything in a new way. But it's not actually true. Because when we talk about the system and how they're raising certain youths in care, or how they're dealing with them, the solution is just give them money and let them do what they want to do.
I think youths in the system is a problem. I was talking to a youth, we are working with, and I just said to him, I said, bro, if you go this route, I said from the beginning, you have a choice, mate. Come turn your 18G, no one cares. You're gonna be somebody's puppet, you're gonna make somebody money, you either make the prison service money, or you're gonna make the mental health institutions money, You know, from medicating you up and chucking you into a home which they're making pee from. So you're going to make somebody money here. You know what I'm saying? Which one do you want to make money off? Or let's go on a new path. Let's go somewhere different. And you know what he said to me? No, rude boy. Nobody said it like that to me before. And I'm thinking, you're 16. No one ever sat you down and said, boom. He goes, yo, my mum pulled me out of school when I was in year 8. I said, bro, like, Why did you pull me out of school? Because you didn't want me to have a bad record. How are you gonna have a bad? Is that how you're gonna approach your education? You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just like, bro, it's just like season after season of what you needed. Yes, your dad wasn't there, but you just needed a brother to come in there, uncle. Bro, I remember, bro, we've had uncles and aunties, but that partners are not there, bro. But the family, even the wider family, takes care of the people. You could not see if you had a niece or nephew that had to go and care. You know what I mean? We don't see the aunties and the uncles going, nah, that's not gonna happen. We don't see that anymore, bro. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh yeah, it's my brother's pitney, just let them go in the system. We don't see family going, we gotta deal with this ourselves. Yo, you're gonna be staying at grandma's, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna support you. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's just like, you know what, let the care system have them.
And the thing is, when they go in there though, like what the young man says to you, there's a way that they're functioning there. Remember, you know, there's this attitude where we can't offend. And we need to remember, telling the truth is always good, even though it might offend at the beginning. It might cut a bit at the beginning. But in terms of self-reflection, growth, getting over traumas, you need to build the right relationships so you're in a position to tell the truth.
Yeah, man.
When you told that young man the truth, you must have had a good relationship with him for him to respond like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And this is we're talking about the psychology now of working with young people.
Deep, bro. It's deep.
You see what I'm trying to say? Because when we go into these working with young people, we have to realize we have to be experts at building relationships, because we're gonna tell them some hard things, because that's what you would say to your little cousin or your little brother who's going in the wrong way, or your little sister. You would try to be able to interact with them where you're telling them the truth. When they're doing something good, they're getting told the truth. When they're doing something bad, they're getting told the truth. The system doesn't want to tell them the truth because they've got this thing where don't offend. And it's even spilled out onto things like social media and how we deal with one another. People are so touchy nowadays, you can't even tell the truth without someone taking it in the wrong way. Because what people want is positive vibes instead of positivity. Now, positive vibes is dealing with feelings. It's not every time somebody says something you feel good about it at the beginning.
Trust me.
But it might be good for you.
Trust me, the things that my dad said, boy, some things he does totally disagree, man. But then look back if you can, boy, it might, you know, yeah. You see what I'm
trying to say?
Yeah, man.
And that's what I think that some of the kids in care need. I was sitting down with one the other day and I was showing him a County Lines video of how Auda was talking about the young people on the street.
Yeah.
And this Auda, some of the things he said, you know, you look for certain kids who are vulnerable, and I was just showing him the video and he couldn't comprehend that that's how the people were thinking.
Yeah, man.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, you said they're begging for some chips, yeah? And just buy them, start from a bag of chips, bruv. Yeah. Start from a bag of chips. Oh, you can see, they're wearing the same clothes. Okay, they ain't got no Nike trainers. Yo, let me give them some Air Max, them, and build up the street cred and whatever they're still,
You go.
You know what I'm saying? Some Jordans, you know what I'm saying? Let me get him a jacket for him and whatever. Movies for me. Next man, I know, the youth's doing madness, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, these are real stuff, man. And guys, why am I having this conversation at Edge? Because I think sometimes, you know, we've been too comfortable in I would say church enclaves, and we maybe, you know, to realize what is really what we have to deal with. And you know what, I do feel that we have a massive more role to. There's something I'm going to be talking to soon. One of the presenters about foster caring and adoption. What we're not doing enough, and I think there's a stat saying if every church pushed for adoption and fostering, there wouldn't be a care system issue. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There wouldn't be the capacity issues that we're having right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, everybody has to have a foster kid. You know what I mean? But imagine if there's one, they said that if each church had one child, you know what I'm saying, there would be no issues. There would be nobody in care homes. You know what I mean? And if the church realized they had a role to play to encourage and to support foster children and adoption in the church, yeah? You don't have to be everybody, but pick out certain people and support them. You know what I'm saying?
I want to kind of say it in another way, because I agree 100% in what you're saying. But it's like there's that what you're saying, and then there's an overall arching principle, which I know you're going to agree with.
Okay, cool.
The church have a role to sustain righteousness in society. So what you're saying is part of that umbrella, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, and that's why you cannot. And people say, Roddy, you be rude now. when we're the first people to moan when homosexuals, let's be real, adopt, yeah? But I'm saying, before you open your mouth, what are you doing? So shut them up and leave them people alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's the same thing for Black Lives Matter. When the homosexuals were standing up, even to this very day, talking about allying the issues of racism, yeah? We have an issue, but they're only doing it because Christians ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that might be a touchy statement right there, people. It might not like that, but you actually show is that what are you doing when it comes to young people in your community? What are you doing in terms of helping out the young kids out there in the system? But that's blessed, bro, because like I said, unless we can impact righteousness for the brokenhearted, we can give them a route out. How many stories have you heard of people talk back and says, yo, there's an artist called A.I. the Anomaly. Do check her out, Bob. You know what I mean? And her testimony is that her mom was a crack addict, and America was mashed up with that. You know what I mean? And proper epidemic, man-made epidemic. But that's another discussion. and her mom was out, left them for 3 days, Bob, to get her to go and get out there. And by the time they come back, services coming. She's only about 4 at the time, 5 at the time. And she got into the care system, and they brought her and her siblings fortunately together, and they grew up with a Christian woman. And she said that Christian woman took them to church every week, instilled these principles. Even though she departed from the ways at teenage years, she still came back to Christ later in life, and them seeds now germinated when she was wilding out and doing what she's doing. And now she's an amazing creative and MC, and she does a lot of social work in her community. Says, guys, check out A.I. the Anomaly, because she's got some big tunes out there. She's very conscious about racial issues, social injustice and whatsoever, and she's out there doing it, man. If it wasn't for that lady in the church, yes, she went to a church that you had to wear a dress, have this certain look and whatever that's for you, but you know what? The principles that was put into her, because they suddenly she could have gone to somewhere else and just carried on the abuse, but the lady came in, may not be perfect, because she said she was very strict, but she needed that, and that seed that was sowed. Look at it now, bro. We need more testimonies like that, bro.
The balance needs to be there as well, because I think that the strictness is always a problem, innit? Obeying is always a problem. But let me give you an illustration. I like to give illustrations. Go to the dentist, yeah, the dentist says open your mouth, yeah? You've got faith in the dentist to fix your problem in your mouth. Why? Because they're a dentist. You don't say, why do I have to obey you? You don't have a problem obeying the dentist.
I'm like this.
You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm saying it's a similar thing. Young people need the balance, and they need to know clear boundaries. And sometimes that's the place for the strictness, because you don't understand that when you're a kid, it's just strict. You know what I'm trying to say? When I work with young people in care, and you always go into care and you'll see different characters and the people dealing with them in different ways. They always know that they have to know what I'm like as a person, as well as me building a relationship with them. This is what I will take and this is what I won't take.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? And that has to be a balance. It always has to be a balance. And I think with us as human beings, we either go too far one side or too far the other side.
Come on.
So now there's no strictness at all. Before there was too much. Before there was too much strictness.
Yeah,
yeah. Justice and mercy must meet together.
Wow.
They must blend.
No, that's beautiful, bro. And I think that people listening go, wow, why are you guys coming from these angles? I think the principle of care needs to be reactivated in a lot of our men in our community, because you know what? Still, you see, the devil says. When I was young, they always use the phrase, the devil find things for idle hands. Yeah. And I tell you what, we talked earlier today about the grey Christian that's just taking over, do what I want to do. They have time to do foolishness. Sometimes we have too much time in our hands, bro, to do the wrong thing, bro. But if we was actually activated in our communities, busy doing that, taking care of our families, we wouldn't have time for the madness I see some of our people are getting up to, bruv. Yeah. Because how you have time for some of the things that I'm seeing? I'm like, bro, like, yo, I'm thinking to myself, how would I have time to have 2, 3 women on the side? Bro, I ain't got time for that, bruv. Literally ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? And I got expectation for me to step up, man. You know what I'm saying? And do my role. My encouragement is hopefully to say to men, listen, man, you know what I mean? You're sitting there, you're doing nothing, or you're doing something. and you still feel like you're not connecting to your community the way it is, look at ways of supporting. It could be easy 2 hours support somebody doing football.
Open up part of the church, side part of the church, which is how youth club started. That's the history.
Bro,
open up the side part.
How many churches can you go into now, bruv?
This is the thing,
bro. We have buildings closed for Monday. Well, all week now, isn't it? Because COVID, right? But it doesn't really make much difference because they were never open in the first place. My dad used to run a youth club at church. We used to call it CYC. You know what I'm saying? Christian Youth Club. That's so inventive. But we'll come in. Yeah. We'll come in. Just play sports, man. It's just like volleyball, football. You know what I'm saying? Every week I'll come. You know what I mean? We loved it, man. You know what I'm saying? And that was open to young people. And then when my dad kind of stopped doing it, it kind of dropped off, and then it started just turning into something different. And when the children's got this, you know what I mean? I know people that are proper high level, people see them as gangsters now. But if I see them now, I say, yeah, man, may as well see what I see with them. You know what I mean? And it's calm, And I think churches really look at how you've purposed your building. Because I also see, bro, education, for young people and how we educate them. So the question is now, I watched the BBC documentary about schooling in his school and how Saturday school grew up. Yeah,
I went Saturday school.
You went Saturday school. Now I went once. You know what I'm saying? But Saturday school for me needs to be reintroduced by the church and educate, not only education but also blackness, black dignity in Christ. You know what I'm saying? So we have a cultural stand for our young people, so they understand the positive black role models and not just think that blackness is just about slavery. You know what I'm saying? And be in bondage. Now, after yourself, Saturday school, what did that encompass for you? That's a very, very, that's something that...
Saturday school was quite deep in it, because at the time, they was trying to equip us to function in society as positive, with a positivity.
Okay, cool.
To it.
Yeah, man.
So the school was set up. Everyone would know Beanie. He had 104 down on Heathfield Road, and then he had a brother named Mikey. Big them up, man. Yeah, and Mikey had his one and Beanie had his one. I think they was together at first, but when we went there, we did extracurricular things that the school wouldn't teach us, as well as extra English and extra maths to help us to be ahead.
Yeah.
Because they know it's gonna be harder.
Yeah, we have to be twice as good. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's a struggle, right?
Saturday school was powerful in that sense. It just helped us to have some kind of knowledge of Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Bedward, Alexander Bedward. I think they taught Marcus Garvey. He was a reverend who taught Marcus Garvey. And these kind of people, Bogle, Nanny, Saturday school did that. So it taught us history about that, and then it taught us, other things.
We need to reintroduce this back in, bro.
You see what I'm trying to say? So it was definitely a place that encouraged me to be more studious as an individual. And it definitely promoted us to be happy with who we are. As black people, and not think, we're just a people who've come out of slavery. So I'm trying to say, we got black scientists, we got black philosophers, we got educated black people. You have to remember, when you go to school, everything's kind of whitewashed. Even for Asian people, they must see it that way.
100%.
Because all the scientists and all the people who are clever, they're all white.
It's funny because when last year's Black Lives Matter moment, it all came out about Winston Churchill that is a proper racist, and it came out there, and it's thing.
He's on the notes as well.
This is it. You know what I'm saying? And it is as well. It's like the perspective. I watched the program. I don't know if you watched it. We did a show about it. Me and Bishop, Exterminate the Brutes. I don't know if you watched it on Sky. I don't know if you
didn't see it.
Bro, listen, man. That does. It gave you a different perspective. I grew up in a white school, so I know how to educate, and it's just like, bro, like, you've been taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. The British Commonwealth civilized the world. That's how you was taught. So there's no wonder that they think they're superior to us, because that's how they've been taught. And you feel like, oh, thank you very much, Master. But when you really look at it, it wasn't about civilizing, it's about stealing. Not only man but raw materials. and dividing and conquering. Scary, you know what I'm saying? But that knowledge was taken away from us, and the problem is when that knowledge comes back to people don't. It's like, you know, when you watch a movie and somebody's memory comes back, yeah. Well, this is the problem. Was last year was like a time where wokeness hit, and man like, no, I see the world differently, and everyone's getting mad because white and black. This is the world.
Yeah.
Scary, bruv.
Yeah, because even the issue of it, the issue of this, of the actual thing we're talking about, yeah. Unless you deal with the root, it's still gonna be there anyway. You can bury it, but your hatred for another race will always come out.
Yeah.
Your hatred for another gender will always come out.
Yeah.
You can't bury it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Say, surely your sins will find you out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah.
And we're not trying to deal with the issue.
Yeah.
Root.
Yeah, root. Yeah.
We're trying to deal with, okay, I just want people to act like they're not like that.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough.
No.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
and it's the same with when we're talking about really transforming character by the grace of the Most High. I'm going to say that's a spiritual work. To transform minds and change psychology and change the way you see something and encourage positivity out of trauma and out of certain things that you've been through. That is a spiritual work.
100%, bruv. But if you pretend it's not there, it's not gonna be dealt with for generations to come. And we pretended that it wasn't there, and it was there.
I think we have to approach it more in that way, though. That we understand that it's a spiritual walk. We understand that.
But we haven't been part of the conversation, though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're trying to do here. And Affinity Extra, we want to be part of conversations. We want people to hear our voice and how we feel, yeah, as a black Christian. You know what I mean? How do we feel when we see pure black boys get chucked and not wanted and just chucked into care homes, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know, how do you feel when you look at them and thinking, oh my gosh, I know that auntie, uncle, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They grew up with my people, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, you know, the mom knows me, you know what I'm saying? You know, how do you feel, bro? The same people that you would ramp with at the age of teenagers are now producing children that are broken in care homes. It's tough thinking, bro. It's tough.
It's deep. It's really deep.
It's not easy.
And that's why as well, I would also say something else that we need to kind of promote. The ability to make informed and wise choices. Even with older people, we struggle with that. Sometimes people make a choice, and they're not looking 10 years down the line.
No, they're not.
They're not thinking it's going to affect anybody else. But what I'm saying is, righteous choices affect people.
Yeah.
And sinful choices affect people. You can't get away from them.
Yeah.
So say you decide to say, okay, I'm going to raise my children with one woman. Have that children with them one woman. That affects the way your kids look at family values. They will grow up with that naturally in
that
them.
Resilience, that focus,
focus.
Yeah, cool. That's for me. I grew up both my parents are there, so I don't see anything different. You know what I mean?
That's normal.
For better for worse. You know what I mean? Where it's still my head, you know, she does sweet things for me. You know what I'm saying? It's called boy.
Exactly.
I'm here. You know what I mean? It's my choice.
But there's a lot of people who have made choices, and when they made the choices, they wasn't thinking it was going to turn out how it turned out. You see? And this is what I'm trying to say. We have to kind of have these conversations with young people while they're young.
Yeah, man.
So teach, I'm going to say, reasoning from cause to effect. Teach, if you do this, what's the possibilities that could happen from you doing this?
Come on.
And have those conversations so their brain learns how to think like that. Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of the social media and the gadgets that we got are not necessarily, they're kind of dumbing us down.
Oh,
they're not making us sharper.
Bro. Just making us fab. I said to my son, I think your generation, I said to my son, they talk more. People said that, Roger, you don't speak really great English. I said, okay, cool, safe. Probably went to church in the ghetto, and I grew up in the posh area. My brother's got the posh accent. I got the mishmash. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to my accent, but it's like they have a way where they talk like. I'm thinking, do you guys talk properly? They go, I'm thinking, are you guys just lazy to talk properly? Bro, imagine if you didn't open your mouth, bro, you would have get slapped. Listen, talk to me properly, boy. Talk to me properly. You know what I mean? But these kids, and the way they communicate, they're so used to communicating through a computer screen that they're very much more aggressive and dismissive. Now, you know, say, you can't talk to your brethren like this. Yo, blood, fix up you can't talk to your brethren like that, bro. But they talk to their brethren through the computer, through that, because they're not in the same room, not have that skin connection that you don't look at people's eyes. You can't talk to a man like that. You know what I'm saying? But they talk to a man like that because they talk through a computer
all the time.
So you have to understand that young people do not know how to communicate well. So sometimes now, and here's the flip side, bro, is that we have to have patience with this next generation, because we got grew up to have manners a certain way, but these guys are growing up different. If you don't step up, bro, born you, and this is in the church and outside the church. Don't think you can go into youth work in the church and outside the church and go in there thinking, now call me sister so and so, and you know what I mean, call me that, oh yes ma'am, and nah, you just like born this, they don't even like you after that, bro. They don't even like you. So I don't know if people say you're too soft these days, Raj, but it's not about being soft. It's just that's the way young people are now. You can't just say do this. You have to explain everything. You know what I mean? So that's what some of the things that we just need to understand. Now, I do believe as Christians we have a massive part to say. People can say, yeah man, we're going to start a prayer on Sunday, you know what I mean? But there's active things. I'm going to be talking to my friend about adoption, about how it is in the system. I'm going to be talking to different people who there's different agencies in the system. Yeah, they're all part of this. There's from police, from the hospital system, how we face our system, all these people involved, to even chemists, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, doctors, they all have a part to play in what we do, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All the marzipan, I call it marzipan sweets that they giving the youngsters to calm them down and stuff. It's not good, but they prescribe them over to youth workers, to trainers. You know what I mean? I had a youth, he's going to training now. He's 16. You know, he said to me, "What's what you doing? You doing, you know, mechanic or you know, man was be a mechanic, packing shelves." He's going to do a YTS, apprenticeship in packing shelf, and they said yes. They said, how is that option on the piece of paper, bro?
They might want to get someone to pack shelves for cheap.
Amazon, you've started up a genre.
Oh, no.
Bro, that's the realness. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're facing. You know what I mean? Out there in this community. Bro, one last point before we close off, man. Is there any encouragement you want to say to people in terms of, you know, how can people, from your perspective, support us or people who work in the care system, or, you know, how can they support the system from a godly perspective? How can we get involved?
I think you've got to open up. You got to literally either get the funding and open up the buildings yourself. Get the funding.
Get churches, churches.
Open up the building and build things inside the building that kids are going to come and want to work with. It's not a different format to what was done before. We
just
studios need to be in buildings.
And
you need to open them up for kids to come in, because road kids will come into a studio.
Straight.
They'll come and start recording, bro, and you, as they're coming and you're the man, you're even the caretaker for the studio. They're building a relationship with you all the time.
Exactly.
Then you challenge them and say, okay, let's do a music against drugs project. So now you're not allowed to say these kind of lyrics. I mean, my dad did this back in the day. I remember,
bro.
And you have to come there and you had to say. So now it's
positive
why
vibe.
You're developing even English. You learn to use specific words to articulate yourself. Now you're not allowed to swear. You gotta articulate a positive message. So you're teaching them about words, you're teaching them about so many things just by them coming to the studio. So give them things that they like to do and regiment it and put boundaries around it. So you're teaching them other things, but they don't even know you're teaching them, but they're learning it because they're learning it in a fun way.
Come on.
You see what I'm trying to say? And I feel like this is how we have to articulate things now. We have to apply for the funding, because the youth work's not just there. We have to get buildings ourselves. Big up Nav. Nav just opened the studio for young people and that. I've seen that. Big up Nav with his jackets as well.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man.
He just opened up a studio and I've seen a couple of young people in there and that. So they're doing their thing over London. So we have to just do now. It's not time to be talking. Apply for the funding and do something in your community. And you will see, you will influence those lives around you.
Yeah, man. And I encourage church organizations, man. You have the support. You got the staff in your. You got people that's unemployed in your church that work with young people. Use them, work with them. You know what I'm saying? They're there, man. They're there. Literally, they're there. You know what I mean? Right in there. I would say further the staffing that I've bumped into, go church. That work with, because we got a little heart for this thing. You know what I'm saying? You got the resources of people. You got the space. Convert the spaces, because ain't no one coming in without the spaces being converted. Ace, you know, we talk about his music at all, but this is not that show for that. This is Edge talking about what you check out Ace on Spotify. Ace, and that's ACE with a 1 at the end. Yeah, ACE. I was just trying to make sure the 1 was at the end anyway. So yeah, and what's the name of your latest project as well, bro?
My latest single is called Testimony.
Okay.
Yeah.
So put that. It's quite simple. Ace 1 Testimony. Put that in the Spotify, and you'll find it very much quick. And support here with Birmingham Max, but also somebody who's passionate for people, passionate for young people, and passing on knowledge for the next generation. You know what I'm saying? So this is how we do it. And if we need to extra celebrating gospel music of Black origin, this is how things go on.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.